down south because of the weather and what it done to them and all, and for the ones that didn't make it for their people. Dear God, go with us today as we try to do your county business the way you would have us to do it. Be with all the first responders and everyone that's has got an illness. Thank you, dear God, that we live in a place, small place. It's not that big, but they in where we live in the United States, we've either got the choice to take what we've done here lately, shots, whether you want them, you can take them, or whether you don't, that we live in that type of country. Bless this meeting again and forgive us of our many sins. In Jesus' precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, at this time, any person with business before the court not scheduled on the agenda may speak to the court. No formal action can be taken on these items at this meeting. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes.
I was just going to give a report on the emergency evacuation center. We had it open, I guess, about 6 days.
Yeah.
We had probably 30 different families come in and take showers. One person stayed there for a while.
Okay.
So it was good. It went smooth.
Yeah.
And the weather, we got a lot of water leaks and nowhere to buy supplies to fix them right now. So that's how the park's doing.
Yeah. Okay. Hermley Community Center was used?
Yes. Lots of people were in and out. No one stayed there overnight, but it was used heavily.
Okay. Fluvanna was open, but I didn't hear him.
I didn't hear from Herring about that.
I hadn't asked him since then, so, but he did get it open, so that was good. Anybody else? Okay. Court discuss and consider actions to be taken on old business, inter-precinct project schedule and staffing. Before y'all get into anything real quick on, if you had any overtime or any damages during, the last week, please get that information to Angela and show that it's related to the weather. That way, we can get it on the disaster summary order. I'm doing a disaster order, and the reason I'm doing the disaster order is not for us. The county's infrastructure did great except for small breaks and whatnot. It's there are places like the USDA, their assistance doesn't kick in until after a local disaster is declared. It doesn't kick in just because the governor's order is out there. We would need to do a local disaster order for that. And I'm thinking of all the different ways that USDA helps. It's not just farm and ranch, which we do have a lot around here, but they help in other areas as well. So some of those agencies don't kick in until we have a local disaster, and that's why I'm doing the disaster order for Scurry County.
Are you talking even about having to blade more or what?
Yeah, if there's any overtime associated with this weather event, just add that, pass that on to Angela.
Craig, it's already been done.
Did he bring it up?
Yeah, your overtime is already in this payroll.
Okay,
So,
good.
It's already done.
But I don't have it listed for bad weather, so I still need to know the amount for the bad weather.
You need to know
I can either get with Kirsta or with you, but or with y'all. I have to have the amount that was specifically due to the weather to do the
I bet she
DSO.
can explain it a heck of a lot better than I can.
Either way, it doesn't matter, but for any of y'all, 4.
Okay. I didn't know that. Glad you said.
Absolutely, and that goes for any damage that y'all had as well, anywhere, any breakages or Okay, y'all have anything?
The bridge would have been finished if it hadn't been for our little deep freeze we just got through with, but it's all but complete, so.
Does that constitute a name change from Deep Creek, Deep Freeze?
Whatever y'all want to do, but it's,
Let's not.
it's all but done, so.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. Almost done.
Looks good, yeah.
Good. I'll have to go out there. You'll have to show me where it is. I think I know. but- Anything else? Okay, we'll go ahead and, consider and open bids on the Dunn Community Center. I'm gonna share the wealth here, let y'all open some. I like to open one. And then I will kind of explain, what I'm given to you. It's comparative market analysis. As you know, we're required to have a appraisal or some kind of a analysis of what the value is of the property, before you can sell it. So we got a comparative market analysis. The information was put into a computer and it spit out different comparables throughout the region, not just Snyder. It kicked out values from 30,000 up to 90,000 for the comparables. So that would put the value at roughly about 60,000. That's just information for you to have. If you take off the top, which was 90,000, and the bottom, which was 30,000, still puts the range at about 53, 54,000, something like that. So just so you know what that information is. Y'all didn't look at it?
I did. Of course, there's one thing about it, this comparison doesn't take into effect that it's in Texas.
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you had one that was in Midland, one that was in Big Spring. I think two that were in Snyder.
Yeah, one, I know mine was in Snyder.
Well, I mean, the comparisons.
Oh,
Yeah, and yeah, that one is, the one on Kings Highway is, like I said, the computer pulled them up. It wasn't the person that did the deal that pulled them up. So, the comparisons there, it had covered parking and more area and all of that. So it was quite a bit higher, I think.
I mean, to a point, we're not comparing apples to apples.
Right.
It's-
Yes.
That's my point.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, there's one bid for $2,100, a bid for $1,626, a bid for $2,500, a bid for $8,001, a bid for $20,001.01, and then a bid for $2,058. So most of them were in the same range. And then you've got two that are quite a bit higher than those two ranges.
Well, we don't use it.
Yep.
We don't. And if somebody can use it, well, it might be a benefit to Scurry County.
Absolutely.
Because how many times that thing been rented, Larry?
And last year, a couple, like I said, it doesn't even pay
The dumpster
the
bill.
little light bill, nothing. It's just a drain.
Mhm.
No one wants to use it.
Well, I think it's pretty cut and dried. Just what did you say the highest one was?
Highest is $20,001.01.
Now, all that money goes back in the parks.
I would take that. Nice try, Larry.
It actually goes in selling assets.
Well, we went out for bids and I personally think the $20,000 20,000, that's way more than I ever thought it'd bring. But they accept that bid if there's somebody has any other reason we shouldn't.
I second.
All right, all in favor of selling the Dunn Community Center for $20,001.01? Any nays? No nays. All right. Yes,
How
sir.
is that to be paid?
How does that need to be paid?
Through the treasurer's office. Check or money order preferably, and then you can just drop it off in my office. The treasurer's office.
Anytime, doesn't
Anytime.
have to be today or nothing. Okay.
You've got 5 minutes.
Is that, after the deed's transferred, do we need to give Mr. Webb the keys, or how do we work this?
Yeah, I'd say after
Yeah.
after
Do all
the
the
legalities is
deed
done,
stuff, yeah.
they need the keys. We work on that.
That would probably be ideal when you sign the deed and everything. Thank you.
Fair enough.
All right. Now I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Court to discuss and consider removing Chris Lopez from interim director to permanent full-time director of the Scurry County Youth Center. And I need to apologize to Chris for this. I thought we had taken care of that. We need to discuss whether we want to make him the full-time director or the interim, or keep him as interim. So, I think he's doing a good job over there. They haven't had a lot going on with all of COVID going on, but he's had some great ideas that I would really like to see him implement. I think we're getting to the point where he's gonna be able to have more kids there, at least by summer. Hopefully this will be kind of leveled out. But what are y'all's thoughts?
I'd like to see him stay interim for the immediate future until all this stuff goes away.
Is there a reason?
Till all this stuff goes away and this town kind of opens back up so everybody can do what they want to do. 'Cause, I mean, that's my point.
Okay. Did you have a thought?
I think there's more going on down there than what most of us probably know, and I'd like for Chris to talk to that, what he's opening that, who he's opening up for, and how much.
Since I took over in July, that's when Erica left. That was around the time when this whole COVID deal was going to, really picking up, I guess you could say. I didn't know we were going to make it or stay open, how it was going to work out. I'm glad we made it through. We have about, in our after school program, we maybe have around, actually, I think like 45 kids, something like that. I'm able to have a lot more just because we can only have so many kids in certain areas. We have plenty of staff that's for each area. We still have our sports going on. We have right now we have soccer season about to start up. I mean, nothing's really has changed too much from when Erica was running it, except that our numbers are a little bit lower. I've done everything I could to make sure everything's gone smoothly. I don't know who else would want to take over watching a whole bunch of different kids with this whole COVID going on. Like, I don't know. I think I've done a pretty good job. My main goal, or like my main thing was from become interim to becoming full-time is to be able to move up. Not even really for me. It's for my other part-time athletic director to move up, become full-time. It's not even really for me. I'm unable to move somebody up to full-time because I'm interim. It's not even for really, honestly, the interim name, I'm still doing that job either way. But it's to help my other employees that have move up to full-time because he's able to, we have soccer coming up. We have games on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday nights. Whenever he's done with his part-time hours, he's unable, like, who's actually to do his job. Because right now he's in the gym taking care of kids. So once those hours are up, like, he needs to be able to still do his other jobs. Not really even for me, like interim full time. It's just a name for me, whatever. I'm still going to do the job to the best of my ability. But this is for someone that works with me. I'm trying to do it where I'm able to benefit him. That's really honestly why I'm asking. I keep asking about this. It's not even for me.
Sure.
I'm going to keep doing the job to the best of my ability for the kids that we do have. I mean, honestly, the people that are deciding this, since I've been there, I have not seen them by there or come see how we do things there. And I would love for y'all to come see how we run things, everything flows, how our children come in, we feed them. We've changed it where at first where they're only able to get certain portions, a certain amount. Now they're going to be able to get seconds and be able to eat. Because we have kids that do not, or we have a lot of kids that are unable to get as much food at home just because the kids that we do have are very low income, most of them. So we feed them, we help them with their homework. We do many activities with them. There's so many different things we do. We're not just somewhere they just drop the kids off and that's it. We do many things with them, many different projects with them. So I would love for y'all to come see what we do and how I'm able to run it there with the staff that we have. We have awesome staff. Like they're always like doing the best they can. So for me becoming interim to full time, the name is I'm gonna do the same job the best I'm gonna do the job the best I can the same way. There's mainly to give my other staff member where I can move him up to become full time. That's honestly why.
Thank you, Chris.
So you said you have lower numbers. How much lower are they because of the separation?
Like from beforehand to now, what we used to have up to between like 80 to 100 kids a day, and now it's about half of that.
Okay.
But we could have less staff, but we still have to have like a certain person with a certain amount of kids. That's why.
But I think historically, you have as many kids as, if you average it over 10-year period, you have as many kids as you ever had.
And then right now, our sports are about the same. We have like from last year's soccer to now, about the same number, close to. It was a little less on volleyball just because it was inside. The soccer's, they're going to be outside and run a little bit more.
Well, I certainly think that the Boys and Girls Club is as important as any department that we have in taking care of those that are not able to get the food, to get the help that they need. And I think we're remiss if we don't link Chris up to full-time position.
Great.
What's in the kiddos, what is the ratio between the girls and the boys?
Like the kids or the staff?
Yeah, the kids, I don't care about stuff.
Oh.
You
Well,
take care of yourself. I
well,
don't
the
know
staff wise,
about the kids.
it's mainly women that work there, just myself and another guy. But
Well,
kids
how
wise,
many,
it's
how
about half.
many ladies do you have working there?
How many ladies?
Yeah.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
4?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I have my maintenance guy and then myself and the athletic director
Okay.
is a male.
How many, you don't have to be right on the nose. How many boys, how many girls?
As of right now, we probably have, it's about half and half, maybe a few more boys than girls, but not very much more.
Okay.
In the past, it used to be a lot more boys, but now it's about halfway, maybe a couple more boys.
Okay, and you say you got 3 ladies?
I have 4.
Four.
The one that cooks the food is, and then our Angie, she's been there for like 7 years. She's the other full-time person, and then I have 2 part-time ladies.
Okay.
So those
And
4
they're
right there.
there pretty well all the time?
Yes. Angie, she's the one in charge of the girls group. She does girls,
Okay.
she sets them aside on Fridays. She does activities
Okay.
with them.
Now then, when do you close it down?
We close at 6.
Okay. My next question is, how long after 6 do you gotta wait?
It depends. Some parents, they come a little later to pick up their kids. But we have a setup where if a parent comes late all the time,
Do they tell
we charge
you
them.
that they're gonna be late or?
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. We have some good parents, some parents that are good that they'll call and like, we're gonna be a little late. And then we have some moms that'll like, I don't want to throw them on a bus, but they show up a little late every now and then. And so we have a program or we have a deal set up where if they're late multiple times during a week or in a month, we charge them. So they know not to come late all the time.
Oh, so they've got some kind of penalty?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Because
I
we
can
also
live
take
with
care of our
that.
families.
If you can live with it, I can live with that. If they gotta do something, but I think that's kind of like somebody that's working for you. If they're continually late, you really don't give a damn whether they show up one of these days or not. So, because that's inconvenient for you and other people. And there ought to be something that could be said that, now listen, we know that's gonna happen every once in a while, but this is the third time or whatever, and I've got other things I need to be doing.
Yes.
All right, and I had one other question, and then it's kind of like a lot of old people that went that way. I think of it, I'll call on you here again here in a second.
Yes, sir.
The bad days, do you, if it gets bad, do you go ahead and shut it down, or you sit there until the time to go home?
Like with weather days?
Yeah,
Well, we usually go with the school system. Like if the school's open, we're open. Like
okay.
even whenever like the county's closed and there's a school day, we're still open on those days.
In other words, it's school, that's the main thing there. If it's closed, you're not open.
Yes, well, we have staff there. I still gotta,
Yeah,
they still gotta be there to do some stuff around there. We find stuff for them to do. other
but
than that,
no kiddos or nothing.
no kiddos. If there's
Okay.
no school, then we don't have kids.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yes,
All right, thank you.
yes, sir.
You have any thoughts?
No, I think you did a good job.
I'll make a motion that we, put Chris back up to full-time or up to director, not interim director. For the Scurry County Board of Adjustment.
Seconding.
All in favor? All opposed?
I think that was just about leaving it like it was,
It's
Right
to-
here. this last one.
It's to keep him at to make him full-time instead of interim. Do you want to make him full-time or keep him as interim? If you want to vote full, make him as the permanent, full-time
Oh,
director.
making him, I thought we was talking about his help.
Oh,
No,
Okay.
I'm for making him full-time if he wants to be.
okay, so that's 4.
One.
All right, thank you. Court to consider line item transfers and budget amendment.
There's no line item transfers, but last week there was a budget amendment attached to the revenue that was certified, last week, for the revenue that was certified for the ambulance. There was a budget amendment attached to that wasn't, yeah.
Okay.
So I have the budget amendment is the total for the EMS ambulance. One of them was for $10,112.85, the other for $6,949.41. Put it into his vehicle maintenance line to get it fixed.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
question. At the Boys and Girls Club,
Uh-huh.
who's in charge of the external maintenance of that area?
So
Is that the county that's in charge, or is it through the management, or how is that handled as far as mowing and edging around the Boys and Girls Club?
that's through the county.
Just,
Yes, sir.
Is that a commissioner's
Or
responsibility?
who's in charge of it?
Our maintenance guy cuts the grass and our athletic director, he weeds it.
Okay.
Whenever he's not in, I weed it and I clean it up.
Okay, so
Yes.
it's under your direction?
Yes, because they give us a mower, we mow it and we weed it ourselves. And we do all the maintenance on the outside.
Although if needed, the Parks Department does come over at times when needed and help them out.
Yes.
Cause it got really bad this summer, seriously. I mean, I'm not being critical. It just was, it's horrible. And the fence, I mean, the weeds are grown up.
Yes.
Even the old tennis courts over by the old jails, weeds were 6 foot high. I'm thinking, we need to take a little pride in our facilities. And if we have people who are hired to do that, maybe somebody needs to rattle a cage a little bit and clean this place up. I'm giving y'all
Sure.
fair warning.
I'll
I'm
talk
fixing
to
start
y'all.
making noise.
Sure, I'll talk to y'all after the meeting about
Yeah.
that.
Perfect.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Judge, I make the motion, we approve the budget amendment.
Okay.
Thank you.
All in favor? Accounts payable?
We do have a small packet because there are some bills that needed to get paid.
Sure.
The question was asked why we were doing one. It's because we have some bills that have to go out. So it is $11,300.08.
That's why why we always.
Let's pay the bills.
All in favor? All right. Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor? That's a semi-quasi question there. Any questions?
Yes. What was the low bid?
The what?
The low bid,
Oh, goodness.
$18 or something.
So far,
$1,626.
I'm gonna get the inspector back on, I'll be down there on it.